Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1670A, and today's date is September 21st, 2018, and the title of the episode is Confirmed, #Our Guy is Working with Trump to Destroy the Central Bank. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, we've been talking about the plan, and we know it's not just about removing the swamp, it's about removing everything and resetting everything. And looking through the central bank, the Fed's minutes, we can see that there are certain things that stand out that actually indicate that Trump and Powell are working together. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. But I want to talk about Wells Fargo first here. And they are reducing their staff by 10%. We already know that they laid off about 600 or so employees from their mortgage division. Wells Fargo is having a very difficult time. We know the real estate market is collapsing right now. Mortgage applications are declining. And we're going to see a lot of these banks start to lay off individuals that are working in the mortgage departments. They've been doing this for quite a while, since the problems in the real estate market back in 2008. And I think this is going to continue on. But Wells Fargo, as we know, has many other problems with employees inside the corporation changing data on certain applications. They were found out, and they're just having a whole lot of problems. We see the U.S. service economy. It has collapsed to 18-month lows. And what we're looking at here is that the service has collapsed to the lowest since March of 2017. And the composite index slipped to its weakest since April 2017. And this does not look good whatsoever, because we can see right now things are starting to fall apart. If we go back to 2006, 2007, leading into 2008, we had a steady decline of the composite PMI and U.S. GDP as it declined right down into the negative territory. And it looks like we're heading in this area once again. Actually, it dipped way down during the election time in 2016. And then, of course, what happened was Trump came in. The economy was boosted up for a while. He started manipulating all the numbers just like Obama was doing, but took it to the nth degree. And this is all now running out, because what happens is you can manipulate as far as you possibly can. You can make people feel good. You can make it look good. But eventually what's going to happen is the real economy is going to show its ugly face. And that's what we're seeing right now in the real estate market. But Trump knows this, and the people behind him know this. They're doing this on purpose. They're pushing this economy and using the weapons of the central bank, the deep state. This way they can't say anything against what he's doing, because he's using their tools. But if we look at the real estate market, let's say New York City, and we look at the home sellers in New York City, they have slashed prices on almost 800 listings during a single week this month. This is the largest wave of discounts in at least 12 years. So in the week through September 9th, there was 774 homes in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens that got a price cut. The most for any 7-day period in data going back to 2006, according to a report Friday by listing website Street Easy. The previous weekly record was in March of 2009, during the global recession, when 713 properties were reduced. So we can see that we are doing the same exact thing that happened in 2008. Nothing's really changed here. All they did was manipulate, pump up the bubbles, and made the economy look really great. It's an illusion. It was an illusion back in 2008. That's why it fell apart. And as we pointed out earlier this year, sales of luxury apartments, those that cost $5 million or more, plummeted more than 31% over the first 6 months of this year, forcing sellers to slash their prices. I wonder if that's why Mnuchin is selling his luxury apartment in New York, trying to get top dollar, because he knows we're at the top of the market and the market is coming down. The insiders know what's going on. They understand what's going on. And we have to realize that all of this is part of a bigger plan. The insiders realize that this economy is completely fake, phony, and false. That the central bank, prior to Trump, has been pumping and creating this illusion to make us think that the economy's great. And what they were going to do is they were going to crash it. And they were going to blame this on, at that time, most likely a war. Then they tried to switch it to Trump. But the tables have turned. Trump has taken control of the economy. He has the magic wand. He can make the economy look any way he wants. He can pump these numbers up any way he wants and make it look fantastic. I mean, there's been a shift in GDP by like $1 trillion. I mean, when Obama was president, he went all the way back to 1929, added in research and development into the GDP numbers, recalculated it all the way to the present day. So basically what Trump is doing, he's using Obama's magic wand and doing the same exact thing. This way, nobody can blame him for the economy falling apart with all these tariffs and all these things that he's doing right now and renegotiating the trade deals. They can't say, oh, it was because of that. So they're kind of stuck right now. And I think they were depending on the central bank to actually try to bring the economy down and blame it on Trump. But I think Trump has taken control over the central bank. And the reason why I'm saying this is because of what is in the Fed's minutes. Now let's go over this. Trump, when he first brought in Powell, he thought he was going to be an easy money type of Fed. He didn't know he was going to be an interest rate Fed. Now, of course, Trump knows exactly what Powell was going to do. And this is why he put this message out there contradicting the Fed. Think about what he's doing with Sessions. Think what he does with North Korea. Think what he's doing with Iran. He's always saying, well, I didn't realize that this person was going to be this way. Too bad. So sad. And he's doing it with Powell right now. And that's what those tweets were about. Because Powell has set one goal and one goal only for his policy. Hitting the neutral rate of interest. The neutral rate of interest is when the Fed has rates equal to the pace of inflation. Now, while this is technically what the Fed is supposed to be doing, no Fed, or any other central bank for that matter, has done it in over 30 years. Greenspan, Bernanke, Yellen, all these Feds were all notorious for running accommodative policies in which rates were kept well below the rate of inflation. During the July question and answer session with Congress in July, Fed Chair Powell emphasized that the most important focus for the Fed under his leadership would be a neutral rate of interest. The Fed will be hiking rates until it reaches that point. Now, doing this would create a serious issue for the financial markets. I mean, let's think about this for a second. Already globally, numerous markets ranging from China to Germany have entered corrections, if not outright bear markets as a result of the Fed's hawkishness. Eventually, this means it is all going to spill into the U.S. markets. When it does, the bursting of the everything bubble will have officially hit the U.S. shores. And we know if he's going to try to raise the rates to a certain point, and we know that point is around 2.93%, that's going to start a domino effect. It has already started a domino effect. So what we know right now is that Powell has a mission. And this mission is to continually raise the rates until the entire system implodes. This way, the central bank will be blamed for the economy crashing. Now, the economy might crash before this time with bad news coming out. Hopefully, with the magic wand of Trump, he can continually manipulate it so everything doesn't crash. Because I think what their real plan is to have the entire system to be blamed on the central bank, to take control of the central bank. So from these minutes, from what Powell has been saying, is exactly the way to bring down the system. Just look back in time. Go back to 2006, 2007. Watch the interest rates. The Fed increased the interest rates to a certain point. When it hit a certain point, the economy started to fall apart. And then all of a sudden, they dropped it really, really fast. They're doing the same trick. And the Fed knows what this will do to the economy. Trump knows what this will do to the economy. So let's look at this plan here. pump the economy up, manipulate the numbers, make it look fantastic. Have Powell, our guy, raise the rates and continually raise the rates until the economy starts to fall apart. Have the economy fall apart. Trump's hands are clean. He built the economy up. The central bank brought it down. Point the finger at the central bank. We need to audit it. We need to figure out what happened here. We need to take control of it. And this is the plan they are using. Think about it. With Sessions, he started to tweet out, "Oh, I wish Sessions would do something. I wish Sessions didn't recuse himself. But I guess he knows what he's doing. I guess something will turn around or something will happen." And then, of course, the tweets got worse and worse and worse. This was the setup. Trump let out the first tweet with Powell saying, I thought he was an easy money Fed. I didn't know he was an interest rate Fed. Oh, well, the Fed knows what it's doing. This is the first dig contradicting the Fed. And again, Trump will continue with this. And of course, there's a lot of other things going on right now. Most likely, once the D-class and other things start to move, you're going to hear other tweets about the Fed and what it's doing, because in the end, what they're going to do is they're going to build it up just like they did with everything else. So we can see the plan is in motion, not just with the swamp, but with the main cause of this problem, and that is the central bank. And yes, we're going to be going through this transition. Yes, when the system comes down, it's going to be very bumpy. Yes, it's going to be difficult because we're going to be moving to a completely new system. Just like when we came off the system back in the 70s, we came off gold, we had very little bit of debt, and we moved on to the petrodollar system, and there were bumps in the road. Some people made out, but other people couldn't find jobs. We couldn't get fuel. A lot of things happened during that time, and that was during a time where we had hardly any debt, and we're coming off a gold standard. Now, we're going to be moving to a completely new system, most likely not a system that is the dollar reserve. It's going to be something completely different. And we have all this debt. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult this time, but we will get through it. We'll be able to transition. Just get prepared. Have cash, have gold, have cryptos, have supplies to weather this storm. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.